Bigger isn't necessarily better when it comes to controlling the sea. Some of the biggest marine animals are actually quite harmless. The world's largest animal, the blue whale, weighs up to 33 elephants and only consumes krill. Eating a 1 centimeter piece of pizza is analogous to this. Furthermore, the whale shark only consumes plankton and small fish, despite its frightening name and 40-foot length. What does being at the top of the ocean's food chain actually entail? Few, if any, natural predators, a voracious appetite, and specialized hunting abilities. Oh, and it doesn't hurt to have sharp teeth. Sharks most likely come to mind when you think of the top predators in the ocean. That is incorrect. Killer whales are actually dolphins, not whales. It's hard to imagine a cute animal like a dolphin ruling the ocean, isn't it? Well, we'll explain that in the next few minutes of the video. As apex predators, killer whales hunt in packs, just like wolves, who are also at the top of their food chain. The majority of the time, we see resident killer whales, which primarily eat salmon, but we also occasionally see transient orcas, which consume everything from fish to seals to sharks, and even other whales. Take this into consideration if you are unsure of the killer whale's apex status. A great white shark was attacked by an orca, according to wildlife observers off the coast of California. The orca won, of course. No contest. The shark usually does not have a good outcome from interactions with the two. The first known encounter between a great white and an orca was documented in 1997. A great white shark was killed by two orcas, who then consumed its liver. For orcas, the act of removing the liver and abandoning the rest of the body is fairly consistent. Similar indicators were seen when 5 great whites washed up on the South African coast in 2017. Orcas are thought to have been the most likely culprit in the incredibly precise removal of the livers. Yes, it is utterly terrible. Because of their great level of intelligence, orcas hunt in groups. Even if their presence is brief, it can have a significant effect on the ecosystem around them. The populations of prey do not decrease as they normally would when great white sharks leave a region and do not hunt there for up to a year, which has an impact on other ecosystem components. Orca whales appear to be the ocean's genuine top predator at this time. Orcas are known as killer whales, but why? Are they killing everyone while armed and swimming in the ocean? Let us explain. Whales and dolphins share a strong kinship. The term killer whale was coined by ancient mariners to describe orcas who hunted and preyed on larger whale species. Whale killer, or assassina bainas, was the phrase they used to describe orcas. It was later changed to the more straightforward killer whale. It is also reflected in their Latin name, Orcanis orca, that orcas eat huge whales. Orcanis means the kingdom of the dead, and orca refers to a type of whale. We know that orcas are top predators, but they are not the vicious killer whales that the ancient mariners believed them to be. If you could give orcas a different name, what would it be? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. Perhaps due to their respective movie portrayals. Jaws 2 even opens with the beached carcass of a half-eaten orca. We already talked about great white sharks, so let's take a look at them as well. A single drop of blood floating in 10 billion drops of water is detectable by them. They have an 820-foot detection range for movement. Furthermore, great white sharks are extremely frightening due to their strong, streamlined physique and razor-sharp teeth. But don't worry, most attacks on humans aren't deadly nonetheless, and they don't usually eat people. However, if you plan to go into the ocean, I advise you to make sure you are not bleeding. Sea lions, seals, dolphins, small-toothed whales, sea turtles, seabirds, and even the decaying flesh of deceased animals are among the prey that great white sharks prefer to consume. They may surprise their victim and subdue it with a single bite since they can achieve speeds of 43 miles per hour or 69 kilometers per hour. When great white sharks attack prey from below, they can even break the water entirely, much like whales do. Now let's examine polar bears, another animal that ties her up in the food chain. Land mammals include polar bears. Friend, is it difficult for you to open your eyes in the water? A large portion of their lives are spent at sea. They can swim very well and have been seen hundreds of miles from land. Although seals are the primary food source for polar bears, they also occasionally consume salmon, walrus, belugas, narwhals, and bowhead whales. Take a look at those large bodies. Since they must fill them, they may scavenge carcasses or look for berries and bird eggs during the summer months when the sea ice melts and they are unable to easily get marine prey. However, polar bears will wait for days for a seal to surface at a breathing hole because seals are their favorite food. The polar bear smashes the seal with a single bite from its strong jaws and swipes at it with its big paw when it eventually comes up for air. Although polar bears are the top predators in the Arctic, they will sometimes retreat from a conflict with a walrus. Leopard seals are another predator after polar bears. Up until they open their lips, leopard seals are adorable animals. They have long, pointed teeth that line their broad, strong jaws. Their preferred foods, seal pups and penguins, are easily torn apart by them. One of the fiercest hunters in the Antarctic is the leopard seal. Consider their penguin-eating tendencies. Once they have a penguin in their grasp, they shake it violently until the skin comes off. They eat the carcass after that. Leopard seals are incredibly hungry and spend most of their time hunting. They may weigh up to a ton and have feet. They will consume nearly anything, such as krill, fish, squid, and crustaceans. A mature platypus was consumed by one leopard seal that was caught close to Sydney. Lastly, there is one more animal that should not be forgotten in this list: sea lions. Ah, look at that cuteness. But this cuteness has three primary predators to be cautious of. They include people, sharks, and killer whales. Of fact, compared to those other predators, people are the greatest threat to them, both on land and in the water. We know a great deal about how sea lions interact with humans, but not so much about how they engage with killer whales or sharks. Many scientists think that sea lions can swim far faster than sharks and killer whales. See this speed? They seem to be the sea's brightest star. But the element of surprise is frequently what makes them prey for these predators. Additionally, sick or extremely young animals will not be able to move as quickly, making them easier for these predators to catch. Sea lions are frequently able to detect the presence of sharks or killer whales. Reaching the water's edge and landing on land is their best line of defense against this. However, if they don't go far enough away from the water's edge, these predators can occasionally leap up and still get them.